Yo, what's going on, guys? J.Yumeko here, and today we're finally, after so very long, we are back with Cinderella Phenomenon. So, last time we left off, I believe we had just become a personal attendant for Emmeline here on the left. We've been cursed with the Cinderella curse, I believe, so basically nobody remembers us. We're, poor, and we're trying to do, I believe, 3 good deeds in order to break the curse. But, yeah, it has been a while since we've played this one, so without further ado, let's get into it. And remember, if you guys enjoy this series, then you gotta hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when these new episodes come out, because they will start coming out more now. Alright, let's get into it. Oh, this will be fun to do these voices again. Emmeline steps back before nodding, a bright smile on her face. Being in love suits you. When is the wedding? Wedding? She's already engaged. I catch a small movement out of the corner of my eye and turn to glance at Rod. I notice his fingers clench into a fist before he quickly hides his hand behind his back. Though his expression is impassive as always, I notice a tenseness in his shoulders. Desmond and I haven't set a date yet, but it should be soon. Would you... Viorica trails off when she notices the rest of us. Hello, Rod. Viorica? His tone is surprisingly static. Last time he was here, I was sure he sounded friendlier. So, what can I help you with, Emmeline? Looking for another doll? Another doll? But Emmeline has no interest in dolls. Oh no, I'm just here to see you. I can't stay for long since Rod has things to do. Emmeline, I'll wait for you outside. Oh, okay. I know it's my job to follow Emmeline around, but I am not at all interested in hearing her talk to this girl. Does she even want me here? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stay, right? Like, I feel like if we're gonna find out more about Emmeline and possibly change our perspective on approaching her, we might want to stay. And besides, that's our job, right? So we might as well. Before I can decide what I want to do, Emmeline has turned to look at me with a smile. This is Yumeko. She started working as my personal maid today. It's not like you to make a maid follow you around. Emmeline's expression quickly becomes apologetic. I'm sorry, Yumeko. I realized I didn't even ask you if you wanted to come with us. I just expected you to tag along. Why is she apologizing? I meant to attend to her regardless of where she is, unless she dismisses me. Oh shit! Ah! Whoa! Oh my god! I did not mean to press that. Holy shit, that really fucking rocketed me forward. Okay. No, let me go back. No! Okay, we gotta reload a save here. No. We're gonna load. And we're gonna go back here. Okay. I did not mean to press that. That fucking launched me forward, man. We're gonna stay. Let me also just... I think it's because I have skip on all. Alright, there we go. Let's get back to where we were. Alright. I'm sure Yumeko doesn't mind. It's such a beautiful day today after all. Emmeline turns to me and smiles. You don't have to wait for me if you don't want to, Yumeko. I won't be long. I only wanted to see Viorica for a bit. I haven't been able to see her as often since I moved. Well, that's to be expected. Princesses shouldn't be associated with shop girls like me. Viorica has a point. Why does Emmeline insist on this? But you're my best friend. I'm still not accustomed to the fact that I can't just visit you every day. Those were the good old days, when we were still neighbours. I'd still live next to you if I could. Do you remember all those games of tag we used to play together when we were children? Remember how Rod always lost? The two girls laughed together at the shared memory. I try not to roll my eyes. So there were all childhood friends. Are you sure there's nothing I can help you with? We all turn around at the sound of the door chimes as a customer walks in. Excuse me? One moment. Viorica turns to Emmeline with a guilty expression. I'm sorry, but I have to take care of this. No, it's alright. I'll come to see you another time. I promise, we can talk for as long as you want next time. Emmeline smiles and hugs her friend in farewell. I follow closely behind Emmeline as she exits the shop. Rod pushes away from the wall that he had been leaning against once he notices us leaving. Ready to go? Emmeline nods with a small smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. By the time we return to the palace, evening has fallen. I hope we're not late for dinner. The minute the carriage doors open, we are greeted by two familiar faces. Sir Alcas and Sir Mithros stand before us.
Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, I was on my way to look for you when Sir Mithros informed me of your whereabouts.
He glares as the knight escort. Oh, the knight escort. Okay. He glares as the knight escort and the knight shrinks back. Huh. That's an interesting sentence. He glares at the knight escort and the knight shrinks back. I don't know. I feel like there's some punctuation errors in there. I'm not sure. Sir Alcas turns sharply to me afterwards, his eyes narrowed. Why is he looking at me like that?
It was getting late and the Queen was worried.
I'm so sorry. Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, it is almost time for dinner. Please, let me escort you inside. Sir Mithros gestures for them to follow him. I'm about to follow after him when Sir Alcaster suddenly moves to block my path. His eyes are cold. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes it and shakes his head.
You are dismissed, girl. You may go back to your quarters.
But
that is an order.
His gaze is piercing. Even when I was princess, I was not able to stand up to that gaze. Yes, sir. After dinner, I made my way back to the room assigned to me. As I walked down the hall, I noticed Rod headed in my direction. Rod? He suddenly grabs my arm and pulls me away, down the hall. Where are you taking me? Rod does not answer and just continues moving until we reach an unfamiliar door. What is going on? Rod cuts me off by placing a finger on my lips. He looks around warily before finally pulling me in through the door with him. This place. I've heard of this place before, but I've never seen it. Is this the secret passage that leads into town? Rod does not answer me. He simply keeps walking and I see no other option but to trail after him. How is it that you know this place? He still refuses to answer. Are you deaf? Rod suddenly stops and I bump into his back. I stumble back with a scowl.
You ask too many questions.
Because you refuse to answer any of them. I glare back at him until Rod makes an exasperated sound.
Lady Parfait is the one who told me about this passage. It makes sneaking around the palace easier.
Parfait?
She did not give me any explanation as to how she knew of this place. There are only meant to be 2 copies of the keys. The king has one and Sir Alcastar has the other.
Then why do you have a key? Don't tell me you stole it from the king.
I'm not a thief. Lady Parfait also has a copy. She saw fit to provide me with a key for my own use.
What? How does Parfait have a key to this place?
You'll have to ask her that yourself.
Once we step into town, I realise where it is that we're headed. We're going back to the Marchant. Dolores is the first person we see as soon as we enter the Marchant. Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Delora, you...
That's horrible. Rod's glare silences me. He steps forward and points back at me, gaze icy.
She is not staying at the palace.
What? Delora raises an eyebrow. Why's that? She works there now.
I do not know what game you're playing, but I will not be a part of it.
Excuse me, this is not a game.
I do not want you meddling in my life as you meddled with hers.
The room's temperature drops several degrees. Delora stares at Rod, her expression suddenly lacking any emotion. With all due respect, your highness, I do not want to meddle with your wallowing.
But just because you do not wish to break your curse doesn't mean that others shouldn't want to either. You should be humbled that our princess here thought you would be able to help her. Rod raises an eyebrow. Where is Lady Parfait? Of course you want to talk to Parfait, because she puts things nicely. Fine, I'll fetch her for you. Delora curtsies as she sweeps out of the room. Rod sighs. He clearly looks irritated, but he doesn't put a voice to his agitation. Now that we're alone in the empty room, the silence is deafening. And so I ask him the question that has bothered me since we came here. Okay, buddy. We're gonna save this one. So, why do you want me out of the palace, or why do you not want to break your curse? This is gonna be a pretty tough question here. I mean, like, I feel like if we ask him why he wants us out of the palace, it's pretty obvious, right? Because he thinks we're gonna try and do something to Emmeline. But as for why he doesn't want to break his curse, I feel like I'm more interested in that. So we're going to go with that one. I don't need to explain myself to you. Do you even know how to break your curse? I do. So why are you not doing anything? It's none of your business. I do not realize the anger inside of me at first, and then I notice that my hands are fists, and that I'm shaking. You are angry at me for treating your family with unkindness, and yet you do not treat me with any respect or kindness either. Excuse me? I realize that this is the angriest I have felt in a long time, and it makes words fall out of my mouth. You are guilty of the same disrespect you hold me accountable for. We have both been cruel to family, aren't we? Rod's eyes are ablaze as he stalks toward me. He stops right in front of me, his mouth pressed into a firm line. As you are so fond of telling Emmeline, we do not share any blood. The only thing putting us together is the king, and you do not share his morals. Remember this, Yumeko. You will never be part of my family. And I will never see you as a sister. Rod storms out of the reception area just as Delora enters. Sorry, it looks like Parfait wasn't in. She pauses, then gives me a wry smile. It seems his partnership is going well. I throw my hands up in anger. He is infuriating! Not as helpful as you thought. I was surprised you were asking for his help in the first place. All I've been doing today is following around Emmeline, and he still finds reasons to snap at me. In his eyes, I can do nothing right, even when I'm making an honest effort to break my curse. Delora eyes me as she slides down into a chair. Has he told you anything about his curse? Only that he knows how to break it. Delora sighs. Boys can be so secretive about the silliest things. Rod has been aware of how to break his curse from the very beginning. Then why hasn't he broken it? I have no idea. I think the only other person who knows the full terms and conditions of Rod's curse is Parfait. Parfait? Parfait has known Rod for a while. She convinced him to keep coming to the mansion even after he gave up on breaking his curse. Parfait also thinks that working with you will convince Rod to try finding another way to break his curse. Another way? Don't ask me. I don't know much about his curse either. But if you keep trying, you might convince Rod to talk. I doubt that very much. It seems that all I'm doing is convincing Rod that I don't deserve to break my own curse. Delora looks at me curiously for a few moments, then she grins. I have an idea. If it's another terrible idea... Oh no, this one's much better. I'll just stick around with you. You know, watch out for you. What? Delora, watch out for me. Oh god. Another fucking spell. Ah, okay, she's gonna go back in her doll form. I'm surprised when Delora suddenly stands before me in her doll form. There's no way you and Rod are going to sort yourselves out with some kind of help. Without some kind of help, so I'll be tagging along. It's much easier when I'm travel-sized. Why do I feel like she'll only make things worse? Come on then. Delora somehow manages to jump into the front pocket of my apron, which is thankfully large enough to fit her doll body. Let's go find us a prince and get ourselves back to the palace. Chapter 4. Alright, we're gonna peek at what Chapter 4 has in store with us, and then I think we'll end it off. It has been more than a week since Gerald and I returned to the Marchand. He's been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I'm constantly on my feet preparing for Emmeline's ball. This is ridiculous. Better to be busy than bored, Princess. I stopped for a moment to better balance the pile of fabrics that I'm carrying. One of the maids has ordered me to bring this to a designated room so that it can be sorted out. I'm being reduced to fetching and carrying. And I have made no progress on accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from the other maids will help me get my first good deed. I feel a shuffling in my pocket and then notice Laura peeking her porcelain face out. Better to obey than disobey at least. You're not going to get a good deed being stubborn. Anyway, you've got to put yourself out there a bit more, Princess. You can't just do whatever's convenient for you. That's not good. Laura's been no help at all. Wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I've been ignoring this room, not wanting to see what the king did do it during my absence. Do not want to go in. Why should I? It's not as if it's my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. Aren't you curious about how it's changed? I would be lying if I said I wasn't. I guess a little peek wouldn't hurt. I step into the room and close the door behind me. It's like stepping into the past. The room is exactly as I left it. It seems completely untouched. Moments later, Laura is standing in front of me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around, eyes wide. Everything looks the same. I put the fabrics that I'm carrying down on my bed and make my way to the shelf where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. This one was not here before. Laura raises an eyebrow. Maybe you just didn't remember that one because she wasn't very memorable? You do have a lot of dolls after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. This one is definitely new. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw at Viorica's shop. I quickly turn at the sound of the doorknob. My eyes move to Laura, but she's already turned to a doll and tucked herself into a corner of the shelf with the rest of my dolls. Emmeline stands in the doorway, eyeing me curiously. Yumeko, what are you doing here? I made a mistake and I thought that I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she does not see through my lie. Emmeline shakes her head, smiling. It's not your fault, Yumeko. You're still getting used to the palace and its many rooms. I got lost here all the time when I first arrived too. This room is interesting though. Father expressly ordered that it be kept clean but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why, but apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Cherished? What a joke. Still, I cannot help but feel hope at his suggestion. I don't think Father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came here to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yes, I put many of my dolls here. She walks past me to pick up the doll I did not recognize. I bought this. I know Emmeline always visited Viorica, but I did not think she liked dolls. She always preferred receiving and buying books, so why does she have this doll? Do you like dolls? Well, I don't mind them, but I don't usually buy them for myself, no. So why did you buy this one? Emmeline looks at the door with a sad smile and shakes her head. I'm not sure. I bought it as a gift, I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked dolls, someone I wanted to befriend. I don't know why, but it feels right to leave the doll here until I can remember whom I was meant to give her to. Emmeline is silent for a moment before she turns to me with a bright smile. I know you have a delivery to make, but could you come with me to the palace entrance first? Mother is still busy talking with the cook, so the fabrics can wait. I resist the urge to glare at her.
She better not be dragging me around to make yet more demands. I'm expecting a delivery and I might need your help. Ah, I thought so. I have no choice but to nod. Of course. Ah, so she was going to give us that doll. Okay. Alright, I think we're actually going to end that one there. I feel like this is a good stopping point for this episode. So let's go ahead, we're going to save, and we're going to go back to the main menu there. Alrighty, so very interesting episode. We're hopefully going to get more insight into Rod and why he doesn't want to break his own curse, and how exactly his curse can be broken, because he knows how that is possible. And it seems that Emmeline obviously wanted to become friends with us, even went out of her way to buy a doll for us. So yeah, hopefully our character ends up realizing that. Hopefully we end up recognizing that. But yeah, I'm honestly very interested in how the other characters are going to play into this, because I think right now I'm kind of on the designated Rod path because of my decisions in, I believe, the first or second episodes. So yeah, that should all be very interesting. But that's going to be it for this time. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you would like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video, or you like any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you will be notified when a new one of those videos comes out. That's going to be it for me, and I'll see you in the next one.